innovation. Our mission is to build spaces that resonate happiness across the globe. Our venture into international contracting began in 1979. A significant milestone was reached in 2006, when we debuted on the Fortune Global 500 list. In 2009, we marked another achievement by successfully going public. Since 2015, we proudly upheld the highest credit rating in our industry. Our excellence has been consistently recognized as evidenced by our 8-year ranking at the summit of the ENR Global Contractors List. Our global footprint stretches across 140 countries and regions, with over 8,000 projects that transcend boundaries. Many have become landmarks. Symbols of local pride, even embracing currencies. We own and operate 8 publicly listed companies, 3 national R&D centers, and 42 subsidiary companies. With a formidable force of 380,000 employees, we create 3.1 million job opportunities globally each year. Our business covers 3 core areas: design and consulting, construction, and investment and operation. We provide seamless, efficient solutions encompassing the entire industry chain and project lifecycle. We blend passion and innovation and design, ensuring our commitment to quality is evident in projects that are not only a perfect mix of creativity and precision, but also captivating and inspiring. We don't change the sickest kindness. But also expand spaces of happiness and family individually. We possess the capability to construct houses and undertake comprehensive infrastructure projects. As China's premier investment development and concessions company, we elevate living standards, enhance urban experiences,
اثنين هيكون
خلصنا بدري العالم كلها خلصت
الساعة 2 ولا هلا بتبلش؟
هلا بنبلش
هلا يا استوى معلش
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the lunch as much as I hope you enjoyed the first two sessions of the day. And we still have one more session to go, this afternoon session. In this session, we have three purely technical presentations, very technical ones, and we have very interesting discussion panel to end the day with. So as a start, allow me to introduce Mr. Edmund Yu. He's Assistant Technical Director at Transcendence Company Limited, which is a member of China Overseas Holding. Mr. Edmund will introduce to us the C-Smart solution, which is I would not want to jump in your topic, but it's a comprehensive delivery solution, which you will see the value once he will demonstrate on the screen. So, Mr. Edmund, please try to speak.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. My name is Edmund Yu from the Transcendence Company Limited, which is a subsidiary of the China State Construction Engineering Hong Kong. We mainly focus on construction technologies and innovations, so this is a great honor to be here today to share what we consider to be the future of construction management, the C-Smart, a smart construction management platform. So before we start, I'd like to spend a few minutes to introduce my company and how we have started the smart construction development journey. So in August 2020, we have launched our first digital project management platform, and we have adopted different technologies to help enhance the efficiency on project management and also to enhance the safety levels in a construction site. Back in the days, we have combined different technologies into our all-in-one integrated management platform. I cannot spend too much time to talk what we can offer today because we have over 68 solutions already. So, but we have officially launched our brand C-Smart in 2021, and our latest update, the C-Smart 5.0, was launched early this year, adding even more function and features. And up to today, we have successfully deployed C-Smart in Hong Kong, Macau, Singapore, and across China with over 400 projects already. So, construction involves a large amount of manual work. It is labor intensive with high staff turnover. Information and data are often non-structured and massively produced. Operations are often performed with irregular methods, and solutions in the markets are in bits and pieces. So these challenges may lead to low efficiency on repetitive works, high cost, hard to manage, project delays, difficult to search for important data, causing safety issues, data not in sync, and solutions are hard to manage. So that is why C-Smart exists. We aim to use technology to help managing construction projects more efficiently. So by utilizing existing technologies, we have combined IoT, AI, BIM, mobile application, and ICT into our all-in-one solution, the C-Smart. It comprises of 7 categories covering major areas, plus 2 categories focusing on robotics and progress to enhance the overall efficiency of a construction project. And by consolidating all these data generated into one single platform, it formed our own industry standard, the 7+2+1. So what exactly is CSMART? CSMART is a cloud-based platform. It's a CDE, what we call a common data environment platform, to centralize all construction data, providing a transparent and accurate, up-to-date overview anytime, anywhere. No special software or installation is required. Users can simply access the platform with a web browser once connected to the internet. A quick look on the CSMART platform. This is the homepage of one of our construction projects in Hong Kong. It supports 360 degrees beam and geographic information system on the background to present the progress and also the expected deliverables of a project. We can customize different widgets to present important data for different areas. It has an easy-to-use navigation menu to bring you to different modules. And we also synchronize the weather information so that you can make decisions under different conditions. Also, it supports multi-languages. So, due to the time permitted today, we can only go through some of our solutions. So the first one, building on Hai Long's talk this morning, how do we manage the entire life cycle of precast or MIC efficiently? We use a smart logistics system for precise management. By combining QR codes, GPS, and a mobile application, we created a system similar to any other delivery businesses. So every component gets a QR code at the production stage, which tracks it through every step. We can just scan the code anytime to see or update its status easily. And throughout the whole workflow, we have visualized the status with beam model. By using different colors, we can see the overall progress at a glance. A real-life example to demonstrate the effectiveness of the system is the two major isolation facility project in Hong Kong back in 2022. We have to build and install 17,000 of MICs in under 4 months. And the two projects consist of, next slide. The two projects consist of 17,000 MICs, number of factories, shipping ports, and transfer stations. The whole process has over 24,000 possible combinations on where the MIC is currently located. So by using this system, we can easily track on each MIC with information including the current status, the current location, the immediate contact person, where it is going to, and when it is going to arrive. So which help reduce planning and communication time, searching time, and also reduce the cost for overproduction. And with all the data captured, our system provides functionalities on data analysis as well, and also analyzes the productivity during the project. The biggest achievement of deploying this solution was avoiding any overproduction, even within a tight time frame. Another major solution is our worker dynamic monitoring. We use a smartwatch to receive workers' location and also to capture health data, including heartbeat rate, blood pressure, or even detecting a coma or fall down situation. So when any of these statistics reach the safety threshold, an alert will be sent to the CSMART platform and also to our mobile application so that we can send immediate rescue. The smartwatch also has a SOS function. Workers may activate the SOS request when they are not feeling well or in danger. So on the platform, we display the worker's location on the map. By clicking any of the worker, we can drill down to see the details of the worker. And inside the trajectory section, we can see we allow the management to view the trajectory of any worker when it is necessary. For example, to check whether they are working in the correct area or when any of the workers went missing. Now we move on to AI, our AI safety monitoring system. So the system combines high-resolution CCTV and with AI technology to monitor the construction site safety in real time. It uses AI image analysis So it mainly checks if the workers are following basic safety rules, like wearing safety helmets, wearing a safety vest, working too close to edges, entering danger zones or restricted zones. So if the system detects any violations, it will instantly send an alert to the management platform to remind the site supervisors to respond quickly. And we can also install the AI cameras on tower cranes to monitor lifting zones. If a worker enter or any approaches the danger zone, the system immediately issues a warning to help prevent accidents. So this AI monitoring system doesn't just improve the overall site safety, it also helps management allocating resources more efficiently to ensure every worker can operate in a safe environment. Another important safety tool is our 360 anti-collision system. I'll show you a video. This system uses 4 HD cameras on 4 sides of the mobile plant to fully capture the surroundings of the machines. So using AI, the system can detect workers, vehicles, and machines nearby. If anything enters the danger zone, it instantly triggers visual and audio alarms to prevent accidents. With the advanced 360 degree panoramic stitching technology, images from the cameras are combined into one seamless view, so drivers can clearly see everything around them on a monitor inside the vehicle. The system also offers AI driving assistance like reverse aid, collision warnings, hazard alerts, helping drivers to operate more safely in any complex construction site. And all the data will be uploaded to our platform for remote monitoring and to review all the records at a later time. CCTV camera surveillance system will synchronize all live streams into our CCTV wall, making it possible to monitor multiple projects remotely. The next one is AI drone. The main feature of our drone AI progress management system is its automation. The system lets manager preset flight routes and tasks. Just one click and the drone will follow the planned path for site inspection. Our drones are equipped with advanced cameras supporting oblique shooting, 720-degree panoramic photos, and all-angle videos. So with AI, the system can instantly identify 15 types of safety events across 6 categories, so 15 types. And if an issue is detected, it will generate alerts right away and send SMS or send in-app push notification to our mobile application. And also with the data collected by drones, our system can also integrate beam features to given a stronger analysis tools for project management. The system combines real-time 3D models with beam models, and with a dual screen comparison, users can set any dates to easily compare the actual progress with the original plan. And the beam model is also overlaid onto real-site images for direct visual comparison. With the overlay, managers can quickly see which parts are finished and which parts are missing, which parts are falling behind. So the system highlights different construction stages in different colors, making the entire project status clear at a glance. And this is one of our latest solutions, the AI Scan technique. The first key issue of AI Scan technique is to use AI to identify positioning of each of the components. So using AI, the system will automatically recognize and classify all kinds of equipment on site shows large scan data and checks equipment position and installation status, clearly marking what's installed, what is missing, and what's present on site but not shown in the actual design. So far we have been deployed our CSCEC solutions to over 400 projects in Hong Kong, China, Macau, and Singapore. And we have gained a lot of recognitions from the Hong Kong government in the last 5 years. And our hard work and innovation have also gained wide recognition both locally and globally. We have won the Grand Award and the Gold Award in the Smart Business category at the Hong Kong ICT Awards last year. We have received 6 medals at the Geneva Inventions and a Gold Award for Best AI Application in 2023, and also a Gold Award in the Asia Pacific ICT Award in 2022. So back to the challenges. In conclusion, what we have covered today is only a small portion of our C-Smart complete suite, I can say, but it still resolves the majority of our challenges. For example, the worker management to help reduce costs on human resources, the smart logistics on digitalizing non-structured data, smart safety solutions to reduce accident and risk, progress management to prevent project delays, and an all-in-one integrated platform to combine everything together for a comprehensive management. The system is now on 5.0 and 6.0 is on the way. So we believe with our continuous improvement, we can provide the best all-in-one solution for the industry. C-Smart is not just a solution, we consider it to be the future for the construction industry. And again, thank you very much for having me today. We would like to bring C-Smart to the Middle East as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edmund. And by the way, Edmund have a live demo to you using the C-Smart outside. So if anyone would like to step out on in the booth of the C-Smart, you can see the platform on live operation. Now, my next speaker is Mr. Jiang Wing. He is the Senior Manager of China State Construction Carbon Neutrality Research. He's touching on the side of electromechanical from the sustainability and green building perspective. So, Mr. Jiang, please welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, distinguished guests. My name is Jiang Lin. It's a great honor for me to be here at the technical conference. Today, I will give a presentation regarding a solution that's elaborating the efficiency and deliver the long-term value of the modular construction, the CSCEC high-speed integrated mechatronic solution. Before we dive in, please let me introduce briefly who we are. We are a China Construction Carbon Neutrality Research Company, which has been established 2 years ago. We are a professional incubation organization focused on the green and low carbon technologies. Our shareholders diverse, which including the China Construction Science Tech Innovation Group, the CSCEC International Group, and China Western Construction Group. Our aim is to drive continuous industrial evolution by providing comprehensive green solutions throughout the entire project lifecycle, from the planning and the EPC to intelligent operations. So my presentation will structure in 4 parts. Let's begin with examining the current landscape, the opportunities and challenges for the modular construction in the Middle East. As we know, the Middle East is undergoing a construction transformation, and this transformation is being accelerated by several powerful factors, from the population growth and rapid urbanization and construction technology, modular innovation, and the strong government commitment to the sustainability and safety. The global market size of the is undeniable. It shows that the modular construction market is expected to grow from $112 billion to $250 billion by 2034, which more than the size, doubling the size with a significant annual growth of 7.45%. More specifically, we can see the global trend finds strong evidence in our regions. In the Middle East, the modular construction market is expected to grow from around $6 billion to around $9 billion, which also shows a significant annual growth at 6%. So what is unlocking is the rapid market growth. The answer, particularly here in UAE, is strong government commitment. We can see like under the Dubai municipality, the clear and supportive government initiative has been the key factor for this rapid growth. The authorities have simplified the modular adoption by creating the specific guidelines and framework to make it easier for the constructors and the developers to implement this method. We have seen this commitment in action. We approved the project from scaling up from 2006 and 2012 to now 2020. More importantly, this regulatory investment is not only to speed up the project, but also to strategically align with the UAE's border objectives, such as UAE Vision 2071. So with all this strong foundation in place, what's the key to unlock the full potential of the modular construction? The answer is to address the challenges which are directly threaten the energy efficiency and operational sustainability, which are the two priorities which are essential throughout the entire life cycle of the modular construction. The first challenge is physical. Due to the construction feature of the modular building, the defect in building envelopes lead to a massive energy waste. The imprecise on-site assembly and the weak isolation of the modular joint will cause a heat leakage. Under the extremely heat condition like the Middle East, this heat leakage will force the cooling system to operate continuously and resulting in a significant energy consumption and substantial carbon emission. And the second challenge is digital. The insufficient protocol compatibility with the building's low voltage system will lead to a data silo. This lack of coordination will make the unified intelligent energy optimization impossible. And this fragmentation will directly lead to the third challenge, which is the operational inefficiency. As we know, the carbon emission during the operational phase of the building accounts for nearly 70% of the total emissions of the entire life cycle of buildings. However, the traditional passive maintenance methods normally employ the fixed system control strategy, which is unable to adapt to the dynamic condition of the current daily building operations, and it will prevent the maximization of the energy efficiency. So eventually, in the end, this short-term saving will be undermined by the long-term cost, which preventing the industry to capture the full potential from the modular construction. So, however, this is not the end of the story. It's the first, recognizing these challenges, the first step toward a smarter and more efficient solution. The CSCEC integrated electronic solution. The full stack architecture of our station is structured in 4 pillars, including mechatronic hardware, end-to-end IoT, the cloud and edge modular collaboration, and the AI empowerment, which build out the full life cycle, the full ecosystem of the intelligence management. To be more specifically, in the edge side, the standardized control cabinet integrates the IoT PDC to enable a data collection from the multi-subsystems of our building management systems. On the other hand, on the cloud side, the real-time mirroring technology will synchronize the data to the digital cloud operation platform, and with the power, under the power of the AI, this platform will act as the intelligence center so that it could able to self-optimize and execute the predictive building management. So let's break down the structure. This is the core product of our solution, the direct digital controller, in short, DDC controller. It breaks down the data barrier and act as a nervous system. It could able to integrate the control equipment and the subsystems such as the HVAC, the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and energy metering and lighting system, and transport this information to the edge computing engine via a unified communication protocol, and to enable all the equipments are working on to operate on a unified network. Furthermore, the entire range of our DDC product has achieved the backnet certification, which means we can easily replace with the similar product with the same certification from other companies such as Schneider and Siemens. And if the DDC is the nervous system, is our intelligent heart. The mechatronic control cabinet. This cabinet has integrated the critical components such as the frequency drive, the IoT-DC controller itself, and the smart meter into one assembled unit. But the true power is come from inside. With an embedded AI algorithm, it's able to continuously optimize the energy utilization and truly deliver a high efficiency building. Furthermore, for the modular construction, this cabinet could be designed as a modular unit and fully tested and commissioned as energy modules in the factory, so that it's able to plug and play when it's arrived on site. So that's the visual comparison. This is the traditional PA system solution, which normally employ a non-standardized control cabinet for the centralized management. This approach typically involves extensive and complex cabling and leads to a complicated commissioning, followed by a heavy maintenance workload throughout the entire life cycle of the building. However, our solution with the smart mechatronic cabinet, which integrates the hardware and software of the energy equipment, that means you only need one single cable to do the on-site connection, which means it could able to dramatically reduce the on-site communication wiring and the labor cost for the commissioning. So now we already have the DDC as the nervous system and also the controller cabinet. Now we need the head to learn from the historical data and to predict for the future. That's our edge computing engine and digital twin platform. With this distributed edge computing, you is able to establish a centralized command center to monitor the energy use and carbon emission across the project from one single location, no matter if across the cities or across globally. Furthermore, this platform is able to provide a real-time visibility of the operational status of the equipment in public area, and is able to execute proactive and predictive maintenance to prevent the failures of the equipment before they truly disrupt our residents, so that it's able to significantly increase the certification of our client. Furthermore, for the operational team with our platform, is able to manage more assets with a significantly fewer people. This means to reduce the on-site operational manpower and cost. So before we use the AI to actively manage the energy, we should first consider how can we minimize the energy need from the very beginning. This comes to our intelligent building scheme, the electrical ceramic smart window. The eSIM window, in a simple term, is a phenomenon where use electroactive substances that change the tint electronically to control the solar heat entering the space or the building. So in our case, we just only need to provide really low voltage power as the electrical signal. So the glass or the electroactive substances will tint from benefit is could reduce the cooling demand and indoor artificial light demand of the building, so that it could reduce the energy consumption of the buildings. Furthermore, the EC glass features a flexible control system that operates, which means it operates independently or could easily seamlessly integrate into the building management system via the ZigBee connection. The user or an administrator could easily control the team level of the glass via the touch panel, the mobile app, or the central web platform. Furthermore, regarding the energy saving and carbon emission reduction, the test result has indicated that compared with low E-glass solution with our product, this could decrease the peak electricity consumption for cooling and lighting system by around 60%. Also, according to the report from United States Department of Energy, in a longer period, such as 25 years lifespan, these products, the carbon emission from cooling alone could be reduced by 50% and transforming the sustainability into measurable economic benefits. And all this has been achieved by really near zero energy consumption. Each tint of this glass only consumes really very limited electricity, which means this system could be operated in a safe voltage and power. This is not just a vision, but a reality that we are delivering. This brings us to the next. With all the systems work together, this brings us to the next advanced stage, the AI-driven smart operation. The big amount of the data accumulated on the platform will continuously feed and train and optimize the AI model library, and this model will automatically adjust the operational strategy of the BMS to adapt to the local climate and condition, achieving to an optimal balance between the energy consumption and comfort level. This is not just a vision, but the real reality that we are delivering. The Xiamen Inlet International Center in China. It is the first urban vertical complex in Xiamen Island, which integrates the Grade 8 office building and high-end commercial, with a total floor area of 500,000 square meter and the building height of around 190 meters. Please play the video. Thanks. So the scope of us in this project was to develop the energy management system together with intelligent control platform. The challenge of this project is similar to other supertall buildings, which the information silos and or data silos also exist in this project due to the complex system architecture, the different brand of equipment, and inconsistent protocol standards. The solution from us for this project is to employ a modular architecture design to digitally construct and present different subsystems and nearly 10,000 pieces of the electrical equipment and sensors in one platform. As you can see from this 3D model, you can see this platform has integrated different subsystems such as the water supply and draining system, the cooling system, and the ventilation system. And from this platform, you can see all the operational data and status of the equipment in real time. And the benefit of our solution in this project is also remarkable. For example, during the construction period, it could able to substantially reduce the construction timeline and ensuring the system's highly reliable commissioning. Furthermore, during the operation, it has reduced the annual building operational system by nearly 20% and minimized the unplanned downtime by over 30%. Regarding the energy efficiency, also based on the operational data, it has confirmed this platform has reduced the building overall energy usage by around 15 to 20% due to the dynamic regulation of the AI technology. So the success of the inland project is not isolated case, but it's a living proof of our solution's core capability. And this has been based on 4 principles that I'm going to summarize. The first one is our solution has achieved the full chain integration by unifying the hardware in the edge side and the hardware in the edge side and the software in the cloud side. And it eventually break down the silos and data silos. And our solution could deliver the values by reducing the cost throughout the entire life cycle of the buildings, no matter it's from the wiring cost saving or the labor cost saving during the construction period or commissioning period, but also the operational cost saving. The thirdly, different from the traditional passive method, our AI-driven operation management method could execute the proactive and predictive energy management method. In the end, we could translate the green commitment to a measurable financial and sustainable outcome. So in the end, I would like to use a call for action to complete my presentation. The modular construction defines the form of the future building, but intelligence is installed. As building grows taller, intelligent efficiency is no longer an option. China State Construction is ready with our comprehensive solution to deliver the long-term and sustainable value of the modular buildings. Let's join hands together and build a greener, smarter, and more efficient Middle East. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lin, for a highly technical presentation. We always have to think sustainable, green, and smart. Now, our next speaker is Mr. Chao Chu. He's the CEO of High Building Construction Industrial Technology. He will be introducing a topic which is always in all of our heads, how to convert the non-DFMA project into a modular and to something which we can utilize for the offsite construction. So, Mr. Chow, you have the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First of all, it's my second time for this technical conference. Thanks especially for Mr. Mansu. I will keep eye with you and I will refer to the speech you have in the morning that we introduced one new idea which is called semi-modular to the construction. Firstly, let me introduce myself. We are a strategic partner with the China State Construction Middle East, and I'm the general manager of overseas businesses. Let's recall the last year's memory that we have discussed regarding the modular construction. What I found, we have started a project last year in Kuwait. The sample, which is a 200 square meter substation, which you guess how many pieces of this precast element, and it is almost 92 pieces of precast elements for the small buildings, which we are thinking the fragmented modular construction will be a headache, and that's why we have done a similar substation exercise, which is we have only 6 pieces of modular construction compared with the 92. So this is my first lesson from last year. Secondly, regarding the modular construction, my understanding of last year is that modular construction is like simple box, repeats to each other. So we have complete some project in Middle East by the same dimension, same size of the modular construction, which this is my idea that it can be single room for each function. But the problem with this one is it is very simple. You just repeat the modular together. You cannot achieve the architecture differences for the villa. So my talk today is how we can change the non-DFMA fragmented construction to industrialized delivery. So my main concept is you don't change the design intent, you change the way you cut it. Don't sweat the project, sweat the mind, sweat the methodology. So my speech will have 3 chapters. Chapter number one is the main subject I want to discuss is the semi-modular. Last year we are discussing modular, but this year to achieve the villa construction, we introduced semi-modular to achieve the villa construction. Second, chapter 2 is the connection, which is the most critical part as a modular construction way. The third one is how we can achieve the modular construction is the connection part. So let's start from a very interesting project exercise, from fragmented construction to industrialization. First of all, why this will change? As we know, the global construction for the manufacturer increasing 3.6% per year, while the construction grows only 1%. So the non-ADF works locks in fragmented. Second, especially for the rework, as a contractor, there will be from 2% to 3% in average, 12% for rework. That will be both in labor cost and time. So that's what we can turn, if we can turn this one into a profit, it's very meaningful. Third one is the Middle East construction market growing more than $307 billion, and the speed and the certainty is the strategy. So this is why we need to change the modular construction. So do we need to solve the problem on the site, or we move the problem in the factory? So where the process can be repeatable, measurable, and scalable. So let's start with the one wheeler project, for instance, to study what is the difference between modular and semi-modular. We can start with one typical it's a custom city villa, have 2 floors, originally it's custom city, and by modular thinking, we are changing the flexibility for the modular construction. This is the overall view of this villa. So next will become interesting. So let's see the first floor, which is the functional rooms. What we have to find the construction is we are doing, instead of 6-side modular, we have event 3-side modular, 4-side modular, 5-side modular, plus 6-side modular. So if you can see the left side, 4 plus 4, we can create a bigger space for the living rooms. And if you check the right side, 5 plus 3 plus 5 will create a bigger space. So especially I like the 3-side modular. If you try to add in more 3, so you can have a bigger space to solving the problem of the modular construction. This is for the ground floor. So similar case we have for the second floor. We have why we consider the semi-modular, because we try to avoid double slab and double wall to save the cost. So the first floor will use the first floor, ground floor, the roof as the base, so which can saving the concrete volume. And it can combine with the 4 plus 5, 5 plus 4, and 3 plus 5. Many options can be achieved a different size of the modular. So let's take a detail of this 3-side wall. First of all, we have a 3-side modular. This is my favorite. It can enlarge the space, big span, and we did practical experimental side casting for the 3-side wall. It is using for increasing the spacing, and also the number 4-side wall, which is using for the corner. So 4 plus 4 can create a big space. 4 plus 3 plus 4 also can create much bigger experience. And this is another side, is 5-sided modular. This one is almost, if you casting the wall with a slab with a 4-sided wall, you can complete a enclosed space for the bedroom and for the indoor space. The advantage is this one is higher enclosure, greater later strictness and cheaper stability. Of course, 6-sided modular is which we were done from last year. That's like a dry room, like a port is in this 6-sided modular, which now we are proceeding. This for especially the dry room, which we have, can be finished the dry room in the factory with finishing directly offloading to the site to improve the efficiency, and that's real the modular construction. So sometimes when you have a big span, a bigger living room, which we cannot have the modulars, we introduce the ultra performance PC, that's UHPC, that it is as tough as steel plate. As you can see, that we parking a car about 5 centimeters of UHPC. The concrete is bending, but after the car drop off, the concrete will be getting flat again. And for the material, it's as soft as glue. So it is very easy to adopt for many bigger space or for the like a port UHPC. And this is another problem to solving this problem. It's solving the modular construction big span, which has reducing 42% of the weight. This is the real case which we have done by this year, last year. For example, the first one, which is a substation. It is like a four-side modular plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So we have only 4 modular to achieve the space which we have. And this one is the Wheeler project, which totally done by modular. So that is the concept of the modular construction, how we can do by modular plus the semi-modular. And then how to achieve this one. Connection is the essential way to prove it is reliable. So by modular construction, we have a horizontal connection and vertical connection. As far as we know, the vertical connection will be the extension bar for the grouting system. Horizontal connection will have many systems, which we have the wet connection with the grouting connection and the dry connection with the steel plate and board, which can be connected together. And also we have also second casting if connection as well. So this is working for mainly for low. This is a little demonstration for the wet connection and the dry connection for the modular constructions. And why this is reliable? We did research and the test with the university college. We did several tests that simulate the earthquake and the lateral force and the dead load. In general, it's very technical. In general, what is the conclusion is that the connection for the wet connection and dry connection, it is equal or bigger, similar than the custom situ. So it is very reliable. Not only faster, it is more reliable to the connections. So structural performance is equal or much stronger than the custom situ concrete by the assimilation of the structural calculation, which we are doing now, also submitting our approval in Middle East. So the third one is we have the wheeler, which we can cut as we want, and we can connect as we want. But how to achieve this construction is we need to introduce, first of all, 3D modes and the mobile factory. First, let's start from the, let's see, 3D modes, which we have introduced the 3D modes can achieve 5-side modular, 4-side modular, 3-side modular easily by one casting. The window door openings will be embedded in the modular. This is a factory fit out, can pre-fit the conduit isolation before demolding the while we are doing the precast. The second thing is the instead of 5, we can make it 5+1. For example, foundation slab can be by panel. The boundary wall, especially, is very suitable for the boundary walls, which can casting one casting can create 10 pieces, 20 pieces of panels. And this is how we, and based on the project requirements, we can introduce mobile precast plant that we can build a factory nearby site, and we can shorten the distance of the transportation and lower down the cost. We didn't move the modular to the factory. We moved the factory to modular, which we can bring a more economic solution. And this factory is specialist working for the project, especially the big volume project. So there are 3 takeaways from the speech. First idea is you don't need to change the way what it is. you just how to deliver it. So that's why we have this different kind of semi-modular construction. Secondly, the connection between the heart of the modular construction, one system, many smarter way to join. We have wet, we have dry, and we have second casting methodology to prove that it is safety. The third one, which we are planning to introduce, especially during this conference, the mobile production line is very suitable for Middle East construction because the project in the Middle East is always big scale. One project, minimum 1,000 villa, 2,000 villa. If we can, that scale is already worthwhile to build a factory inside, which we can promote the productivity and the idea. And also, this mobile factory design can be start from design stage. We can make the design our specialist mode and specialized production line to achieve the connections and deliverable project. Thank you for your attention. I think also we have prepared one board, external boards. If you can share to join us, and special thanks for China State Middle East. We would like to share more ideas, and also I hope you to join the third time the tech conference. Thank you so much.
To be honest, it was a severe challenge to bring a mushroom bot to a hotel. So please spend some few minutes have a look at it just outside when you are waiting for the car after we finish the event. So to conclude our event today, we'll have one last session, which is a discussion panel. So I will invite first the panelists to the stage. First, Ms. Roberta Wortman, the Portal in Education and Student Management Practice from Evershare Netherlands. Ms. Roberta, please to the stage. Second, Mr. Jubair Sham, the Principal Compliance Officer at WASM. Third, Mr. Vishal Sharma, President Assistant for China State Middle East. Finally, the moderator for the panel, Zulaima Sanchez, for Director of Advocacy. It's a very interesting panel about building modular, benefit, risks, and effective procurement.
Good afternoon, everyone. Over the past 5 years, something fundamental has changed in the GCC construction market. Modular is not a niche segment anymore. It is becoming the right alternative for delivering projects, and we have seen, and probably Ibera and Sal will vouch for this. Developers are pushing very, very hard on faster handovers. Contractors are struggling with labor shortages, and governments are pushing and prioritizing more low-carbon solutions. And we have seen today and global benchmarks says as well that modular can actually deliver faster the projects, up to 20%, as well as reducing the body color, which is the hardest one to reduce when it comes to CO2 emissions by 20 to 30%. So today's discussion is not going to be academic, hopefully. It's going to be very practical, knowing the panelists, and it's going to be a reality check for the community today. We are going to talk about real schedules, real buildings, real risks, real contracts. So we are going to start the discussion with something that I always do, which is the paddles that you see on the panelists' hands. Red means no, green means yes, obviously. The questions that I'm going to ask are going to be super simple, and I want you to answer with your honesty, okay? No long speeches, just with reaction. Ready? Perfect. Is modular becoming more and more an opportunity in the region? Yes, ma'am. Yes, unanimous. Great. Do you hear me? No? Do you believe modular projects will bring a better collaboration, relationship between the parties? They are unanimous. And the hardest one is, do you think today's standard contracts like are fit for modular construction? Oh wow, look at you, Michelle. That's interesting.
Optimistic.
Well, let's start with that. Let's start with positivism, and I'm going to start with you. When it comes to positivism, always you are the one that raises the bar. Okay. From a developer perspective, I would like you to provide some insights about what potential benefits make modular worth exploring for developers in the UAE.
Of course, we expect the modular to have speed. When I mean speed, there will be some concurrent construction. Say, in every modular, there is a site works as well as factory works. So it's just like building the first floor while you are building the second floor together. So that is what we expect this to be. And for sure, anything from a factory will have a QAQC better than size. So we expect also the increase or the level of QAQC is quite high. And instructions, sometimes at the site we have some restrictions, weather restrictions, service authority restrictions like noises and others. So we expect that will be very preventive significant. And the best one which I've seen, I've just seen some few comments given on sustainability. For sure the method of modular will reduce the waste, and this will give us a high level of sustainability. And if you have quite high numbers of units, for sure it will bring us benefits. Of course, I can say many, but I will leave others to talk.
That's great. So speed, quality, and sustainability, which are the three key things that modular takes, as we know. Michelle, from a contractor point of view, what are the biggest productivity or quality gains that you have seen and experienced delivering modular?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you for that. I think this modular construction in the morning session also there was few discussions happened, and someone said that it is the faster, smarter, greener, and better. And someone said it is durable, tactile, and December. So I think it's very clear that many benefits of the modular construction. And if we talk about the contractor point of view, so in today's in this region, I think manpower and the resources is one of the challenge which every contractor and all the development is currently facing. The pool of the resources is limited in the region, and the projects are matter, and the manpower requirements are huge. So in order to face this challenge and find a solution, I think the modern way of the construction is only the way. It is necessary than it was in this modern era of the construction. So I would say from the contractor point of view, I think less manpower which is required to build a building by using modular construction rather than traditional construction is the key. Second, I think Mr. Jubair has already covered many of them, like speed. Definitely it is taking lesser time than the traditional construction, especially when we are doing the factory setup and we are doing the modular construction. At the same time, at the site, infrastructure development and the substructure work is going on. So once the site is ready, the module can come and it can fit in. Then I will also add the quality, which we have seen from our nice when we visited China recently. The quality product of the modular construction is very good. There is a consistency in the finishing. It is not that different manpower from different region is doing the construction. So quality is the main. Other point I will give to the modular construction, the advantage is the cost predictability, because it is budget predictability is there, because it is not getting disturbed by the weather, it's not getting disturbed by the labor issues. So cost predictability is there. Apart from this, there is other things like sustainability. It is reduction in the wastage, and it is green. So I can count many benefits. These are some of them.
No, that's great, because we are actually agreeing on something, which is good for a relationship point of view, right? Let me reflect on something before jumping into the next section, let's say. Modular creates this split brain that we have. So part of the majority of the project happens in a manufacturing process, right? It's a factory environment, very controlled. And a portion of the project later goes into the construction side, which is completely disruptive. And this intersection creates the risks, correct? The risks as in the design, in the logistics, in the QA/QC, handover, liabilities, you name it. So when I think about the risks, I need to have one of my favorite lawyers in Dubai here with me, Roberta, and I always, I want you next to me to ensure that the risks are not big. So where do you think disputes are more likely to, where are disputes more likely to arise in modular projects? And the follow-up question is, do traditional feeding forms handle those risks well, or do they make things worse?
Thanks, Zulima. First of all, you are one of my favorite consultants, shall we say consultants as well. Do you notice she didn't ask the lawyer to talk about the benefits, only the risks. So we'll go with the pessimism of the advisor rather than the optimism of the developer and the contractor. So I think the first place we have to start is suitability of design for modular construction. Are we taking what is essentially a traditional build and trying to fit it into modular, or are we starting in our design with the thought process that it is going to be modular? I would suggest the second makes a lot more sense and limits your risk. And then changes to design. What you can do on site, you may not be able to do in a factory quickly. I think that is something where we often see projects left quite early in this part of the world, and there's a certain amount of design evolution that happens as construction progresses, and that may just not be possible in the modular construction space. I'd like to talk a little bit about factory capacity, and I was really interested in the presentation just before ours about what appear to be dedicated factories at the project site. So when I thought of this, I thought of something quite different, which is a factory somewhere not at the project site, that is maybe working on multiple projects, multiple different manufacturing lines, shall we say. And then we have the real scheduling issue. We have the issue of production too late, normal. We have the issue of production too early. So this is not another construction, right? I'm thinking of a case where I had subsea cables that were manufactured too early. They're big, they're expensive, they're very touchy, and you really don't want to store them for a long time. It costs a lot. And so that could be exponentially greater in a modular construction setting. So we have this idea of just in time, which may or may not work. And if there's a really huge burden on the site progress to make sure that it corresponds. We also have the to put the risk on your main contractor for, let's say, a modular construction solution or subcontractor, then we're going to have to be absolutely certain that the programming makes sense. And a nomination can be just one more difficulty in that whole process. I promise we won't get too depressed. I'll go through my list quickly. I think cash flow is the obvious issue. We are in the mindset of we'll pay you a tiny bit for materials delivered to site, and the rest, less retention when it's installed. That isn't going to work. That's going to squeeze your modular fabricator quite a lot. And so I had a meeting with a number of the largest Dubai developers, and there was a real openness to thinking about paying more for materials as they're coming in rather than only at sort of the last moment. And maybe that's the answer, is a change in mindset. We've talked about integration and the risks there, and I think those are all critical as Lima, so I won't go through those. One thing that is practically a hobby at this point is talking about the traffic in Dubai, and the traffic in Riyadh, and the traffic in Jeddah. And there just are very, very practical logistics of getting very substantial modules to your site. And then finally, on the defects point, I was very interested to hear both of you say it's an increase in quality. And if that is the case in practice, which we would hope it would be, then that will absolutely limit the issue that I'm going to talk about, which is practicalities of dealing with defects if they're determined at the time of integration. How are you going to do that? You don't have a contractor fully mobilized at site. And finally, you both mentioned the summer. And I was so interested in that because we are fabricating in a controlled environment and then putting these modules into what can only be described as an uncontrolled climate and an unpredictable climate. So I think that's going to have to be built in to the whole process, to think about how materials will react when they're being installed and afterward. So I gather that the bastardized FIDIC, as we call it in the practice, is not ready to handle all those risks, and we will be seeing changes, which later I will ask you about that specifically. But Vishal, sorry. I'm conscious that I don't know if we are hearing ourselves properly. Is that anyway? From the delivery standpoint, what's the hardest to manage contractually for you when you deliver this type of projects?
Definitely modular construction is an innovation, and there will be few challenges when we are going to implement it in the projects. I think if you go to the traditional construction, this whole inspection and testing is getting done in the site. Okay, when we go to the modular construction, majority of the work, or I would say 80 or 90% of the work will be carried out in the factory. So all the inspection and testing prior to the delivery has to be carried out in the factory, not at the site. So, and the factory runs sometimes 24 hours, it runs in the shifts in order to reach to the requirement of the project milestone and the project completion dates. So at that time, definitely employer and the engineer has to also collaborate and do the inspection and testing in the factory round the clock. We cannot hold some works due to the inspection or due to this reason. So we have to find smarter ways so that factory works does not get disturbed during the works. I will not say it is something, a drawback. I will say this is a challenge, which definitely we are taking care in our steel structures applications. We have carried out already this kind of challenges, and it worked well. So I think modern construction also, I can see these kind of challenges will be there, which we can take care during the construction. Second, I can see when this product has been built in the factory, it has to be transported to the site as a complete, like it will be having all MEP works in, it will be having all the finishing in. So there can be little bit wear and tear, there can be some damages may be there. So that works how to rectify at the side with a very less amount of the money to be spent. That's the challenge. But again, I will say this is controllable. Like with the measures, these things can be managed. So if we see the benefits of the modern construction and this kind of challenges, I will say very minor challenges which can be taken care during the works.
You very are you? Good, perfect. What are the issues that you would like to clarify or consider before awarding a contract for modular construction delivery time? I always wanted to ask this question of the developers when I get the opportunity. So.
Of course, this modular construction is new to this market, so we have to be careful in everything. Otherwise, there will be disputes and failure for the purpose. It's a good system. It's a good method of to be adopted. Now, as a developer, the first thing is to check your design. The design is a very important factor which will adopt the modular. You can have a design which cannot adopt modular. Now, if you want a modular, so your design should be compatible with the modular system. There are restrictions in a modular, so you have to understand those restrictions and adopt them accordingly. Also, in your specifications, there are changes of specification has to be adopted, and sometimes restriction of material to be used or the design parameters. So all you have to consider. So before we go and say we need a modular construction, the employer or the owner has to consider those parameters so that the modular can adopt. And particularly nowadays, not nowadays, we don't have many modular constructions, so maybe there are few or three. So you have to go and ask them, how can I adopt my design to the modular system? And then another issue which I understand China State have already approached they have authority approval because there is a restriction. Your system allows only for villa, sometimes 3-story buildings, sometimes 10-story buildings. So you have to know your restriction and your service authority requirements. And this will restrict adaptation of the modular system. And the other issues is building codes and safety standards. I'm living in a semi-modular villa, and I could see the advantage of modular building in reference to quality, reference to sound. I had construction just next to me, and when you close your window, you don't hear anything. So I could see because the wall was solid, and you cannot just drive a nail. You have to bring specialists to drive a nail. So I could see the advantage of it. There are other issues, but we are in a learning curve. And then another issue is, which is, I think it's very important. When you have a modular system, you have to think whether you will be able to transport it. So you can design your modular, you can adopt the design, but then you look at the restriction of the roads, availability of the bridges, restriction, then how can you adopt this modular? You cannot change the design. transport your models. Now, your site, is it ready to receive these models? So, simple site preparation. You have to be ready for the modular direction. Then another thing also, during construction, I think, Madam, you raised it up, this issue of change management. Our thinking of change management has to totally change. We cannot build normal buildings and have every day, I gave an example yesterday. You are building a machine, you are asking somebody to give you a car, and then you plan everything, and then somebody says, see, I need now right inside the city. It's easy, but just imagine how things will change. So change management has to be thinking of change management has to be out. In a modular, once you agree, it has to move out and you get to it. And of course, we wanted we expect a high quality, but we have to be careful in cost control. Cost control, you have two types of cost control. First, the size control, which you are used to, but are we aware of all the site controls in the factory? Do you need DM to come and check the concrete for every pole? You'll never finish the work. So you need to adopt, we need to agree on this type of quality control. What are these? How it will be implemented? You should not think the way you are pouring concrete, you have to go and check the still, you have to go DM to check the concrete, So I think the thinking of the QFC has to be changed. And last but not least, the coordination of things. I was just imagining when the flooring will be flowing. And we know when we we should think modularity, and we will ask the lawyers to think modularity. Because what she said, some of the issues, I said, oh my goodness, the lawyers will be part of this negotiation. We will come and agree, you know. So the thinking has to be changed. Let's say, we will talk about
Don't spoil the next questions at once. So just to recap on this section, the change management part really resonates to me. Not only modular but in general. You know, we are going to a mindset shift when it comes to construction. You talk about coordination. For me, is applying lean construction methodology is super simple. You talk about design and restrictions. For me, it's being flexible, right? So being modular doesn't mean to be like boxed. It's like being flexible to the changes, because construction is like that, it's the nature. And we will try to restrict the changes as much, but you need to be flexible, that's something.
And use the word modular that goes to the word of rigidity.
Of what?
Rigidity.
Rigidity, but they
fixed. You know, this is modular.
I know, but you are telling them, you were saying that they need to be a little bit flexible.
No, initially, when you want to start, you know, when you want to start modular.
Yeah.
So you want to be flexible or going to a rigidity.
Yes.
So this is
okay. So what you just said basically for me is that if modular projects succeed or fails before the first module arrives on site, means that procurement is a make or break deal, right? So let's rethink procurement together, right? Because I think this is key. And let's stick with you, but be conscious all the time. Because the other panelists also, I guess, they want to say something on this topic. As modular adoption goes more and more, we are seeing it, especially in the Chinese state. What are the expected changes in procurement that you foresee in the near future?
This is to me.
This is to you.
Okay, very good. As I say, when we are going to modularity, the mindset has to change. Example. Before we used to complete the design and then we used to tender. But in modularity, you don't do that. You have to involve those contractors, whoever doing the modularity, at an early stage of the design. And for me, simple at the concept. Once you conceptualize your project, you need some inputs from this model based on the system, based on the restriction and everything. So the procurement way is not like the normal one is. So we call it the front loading. The modular construction should come in the early stage of the design. And another is as I said, because you are going to have an early involvement, the early contractor's involvement in the design is very important. Because some of the design is the risk you are giving it to the contractor, so he has to be involved and advising you what are the risks which he can take and which risks which he cannot take. So for sure, the early involvement of the contractor is important in providing the feedback on your design. And then that is no doubt you need a new model of contract because the risk allocation is different. So if the risk allocation is different, the condition of the contract has to allow for that. Evaluation methods, as I say, you don't evaluate the normal way of evaluation. Termination, all right, is something which we need to consider. We cannot say we should not think of, we should think, because there will be certain circumstances where you need to terminate the project because of maybe employers' payment or maybe contractors' underperformance. So we have to think how the termination will be done and how it should be evaluated and everything. So we should have an idea, which is, I don't have it now, all right? Let's say I was just thinking
definitely the typical model which is design, build and build will not work in this model. Early collaboration of the contractor is essential in the modular construction, and that collaboration should be from the very starting of the project when it is in the concept design. I think contractor has to be involved along with the developer when the layout of the villas or building is getting finalized, so that that can be designed as a modular friendly design. So if that is not done, then later on it cannot be converted to the modular requirement. So early collaboration model is very much required as a procurement model. And second, design and build model can also work in this modular construction. Definitely no traditional model, it should be either design and build, or it can be also two-stage standard in which contractor can be involved in as a early collaboration when the design work is going on, and when the design work has been finalized, then stage 2 is price setting discussed. So these are the models which we think can be worked out. There may be other models, but I think that is the one which can be worked out.
Thank you so much. And legally speaking, Robert, again, lawyer has, what procurement of contract innovations to practically mitigate issues?
So I think that what Mr. Rivera and Mr. Michel said is that there needs to be a complete mindset shift. We are not in the traditional world. We need to think about something different. We are on a journey. It is new here. But one of the good things is it's not new everywhere. And I think we've seen a number of procurement models that sit under the very broad term collaborative contracting that get to exactly what you're talking about, where we have that early contractor involvement. Whether that's two-stage tendering, whether it's simply consultation on the design process, but it's flipping the mindset of us versus them to just us. And that sounds perhaps a bit high level, but fundamentally, that's the change. I will commend you to a survey that my firm did with ACOM recently on attitudes about collaborative contracting in the region. And people are increasingly becoming interested in it and putting some thought into it. So it seems like actually these things are coming together, right? From the technological side of saying, yes, we're ready to try to implement this and do it well, and from the contracting side, recognizing that there needs to be a change in the mindset of procurement. We'll also mention, since we are so wedded to FIDIC here, they're about to release a collaborative contracting template. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like, and if it will have something like modular construction embedded into it, but we'll have to see, and it may be the newest color in our rainbow.
Oh, so that leads to my following question, which is like, do we need to change FIDIC to suit modular? You're saying that they are going to release something that it might be the answer for that.
It might. We don't know. Otherwise, there are plenty of other models that have been tried, particularly in Australia, around this type of procurement mindset that we can look to.
So if this new template doesn't suit modular, you will refer to the Australian type of collaborative model contracts, maybe?
As one possibility. We may not be ready to go all the way to that type of contracting. Maybe we're ready for two-stage tendering, as you mentioned. But step by step, it's changing that mindset.
Can I add something which I think we have the role of a consultant? I'm just trying to imagine why we need a consultant.
Sometimes I ask that question.
Right. Okay. So I'm putting it in my head why we need it. Right. So I have no answer, but time will tell their role. But also we should think of a because according to my understanding of modular, that we are allocating almost 90% of the risk to the contractor, from the design to and everything is clear. You know what you have to deliver, what you have, because one of the modular restrictions is that tell me now what you want. So I think also we have to think about the consultant.
Okay. Russell, last question for you. So obviously you're representing Russell, and from a developer standpoint, what criteria? If I need to sell you a modular project, which I'm doing your job right now, but if I need to sell you modular, what will be the criteria for you to agree and sign?
Very fascinating question. That is my fundamental. You are telling me that you are back. Why? Without showing me a cost saving, why should I? Right? So, and you are, I've been listening to Vishal, which the day I'm going to negotiate, I will quote you that I have less labor. And one of the fundamental costing in Dubai now is an estimated is labor. Labor cost has increased drastically. When I was an estimator, my rate was different, and now we get the rates. So I'm going to ask you that of costing. Another is that, of course, I will look at the repetition. The most economical way is to have the repetition and the size of the project itself. And then another issue which cannot be, is the time sensitivity. Sometimes I don't care all the time. I don't need urgent. I can spend 3 hours to drive to there. But sometimes, I need it immediately to move as soon as possible. So I'll take an air. So airplane is modular, right? So if I have time sensitivity, yes, I will accept. If not, why? Then, of course, sometimes site constraints. That site constraint will push me for the modular. So we will see. Those are the factors which may decide on the road. And then one of the major issues which we are heading, and I believe we developers should think of, is the labor constraints. There are restrictions of labor, activity, availability, many things. As I said, the cost of labor is increasing and unpredictable. So we have to think of that. And if contractor comes in there, I say, we don't do this. So we have to have very good reasons of advising you to work on it. And we need a clarity to satisfy. Very clear satisfy. So when you go for modularity, we should not have this stoppage or constraint in the regularity. And then one of the points which is still striking me in my head is the distance. Still, the distance, proximity of the factory of modular construction factory will be a factor to decide whether we are pushing for modularity or not. So I heard something in the last, I don't know what is his name, I'd like to talk to him in order to see how we can minimize this issue of distance.
So quite a few criteria. So cheap, fast, convenient, make sure that the end is with you, and proximity to the site. So you have the information. Last question, because we are running out of time. If you have imagine that you have a give you a magic wand, okay? And what is the one thing you wish clients understood better about modular technology? One thing.
Okay, I would say, I would just considering what Mr. Julian has just said, because he will catch me definitely for the cost saving. So I want the developer, our respective developer to understand that speed is really a very good, important point of the model construction. And when we finish the project, before, then they will get the revenue earlier. So please understand that revenue generation of that time period which we are saving is a cost saving to them.
Exactly, that's a good set. One question from me, and this is very selfish, but did you enjoy the panel? Did you enjoy the panel?
Yes, we enjoyed it.
I thought it was going to do red. I don't think we have time for questions. Yes, no. No one is telling me that I should stop, Mansoor. Should I?
Any raised hand?
Any questions from these amazing panelists? Yes, we have one.
From what I see, I think we have all what it takes to start implementing modern construction methods. However, that needs contribution from all stakeholders. I fully agree with Mr. Jubair that the mindset has to change, and I believe we should have a new construction concept that combines the ECI, early contractor involvement, design and build, and what I would suggest more, maybe you can think of an IT project delivery where the contractor, the developer, and designers together in one contract. So the risk which is being transferred to the contractor will not be transferred back to me as a developer in a form of money. So this is something maybe we need to think how to mitigate the risk, and I don't get back the risk I'm giving to you in terms of money. The question that I have really is, again, the cost. Unless we see a cost benefit, tangible benefits, I don't think any developer would have the guts to start implementing this. The only tangible benefits I see so far is the time, which is still, again, not clear. I don't understand the time that we would take to get the designs approved. That will take a lot of time. Maybe it defeats the whole purpose of the construction time savings that can be achieved. I'm not sure if you have any records that you can tell me how much time we can save in the construction, how much cost we can save, although I understand fully any system in the beginning, it may not lead to the cost benefits that we should expect. Maybe you can tell me what are the optimal number of modules we need so that the cost would be efficient. These kind of things I need to know. One more thing, maybe, I'm not sure if Mr. Engineer that we have from the municipality was here in the morning. I think not only from the contractors I expect cost savings, I believe authorities should also encourage developers to adopt this system. I remember when we first introduced electric vehicles, there was some exemption from the salary fees or whatever. So I would love to see authorities encouraging developers by reducing the building permits, for example. Something that I can benefit or encourage me to take the risk and start exploring this kind of things. Again, the question for Vishal, since you're the contractor here, if you have any records to tell me how much savings are expected, if we have an optimal number of modules that can lead to cost savings, and the time, I need to know the time, considering the time needed to get the building permit or the approval from the authorities. I know you did a great job by having the principal approval, but we still don't have a complete approval. So if you have any records, that will help a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Yeah, I think this is very important parameters which you have on this panel. The cost saving depend upon the rapidity of the modules. More and more typical buildings or typical villas will be there, cost will become more and more effective. So, like in a very plain term, like if you are talking about the modular construction for one, or let's say few villas or few buildings, definitely that will not be cost effective. But as soon as the number keep increasing, that become cost effective. Still we are working on that. Okay? I cannot give you the firm numbers or the percentage, but we are still working on that, and I think we are discussing with what's the name of the project, and we are working very seriously on that, and we are expecting to reach to some kind of good figure, what is expected. Secondly, like what the things is happening right now, like what we got the approval. That approval is for the G+1 villa and for the G+10 buildings. And this should be the typical. We cannot take the complicated buildings in this one. That should be very typical, and that should be the repetitive. So definitely with Dubai content, like you have maybe many villas in the future which is upcoming. So I think with the proper case study, because each project is different, so with the proper case study, with the proper checking the tender and the drawings and the specification of that project, and then comparing that project with the traditional construction, I think we can reach to that kind of figure what you are expecting.
Can I you mentioned about cost. As an employer, anybody I do optimization. It's not a matter of cost or matter of time. I'll give you a lot of parameters involved. I'll give an example. When the precast started this month, we had the project X by properties. So we had a project, the villa. If you go to the villa, there are two sections. One is a convention, one is a precast. If you go today, you will not know, I will know. But when we went there, the cost was maybe 10% more. But we opted because we will sell it faster. So it was not cost issue, but it was the time and sell. So as I told you, there is a benefit of time, there is a benefit of cost. So you have to optimize it. Sometimes you need it faster because you will be able to sell it faster, your money will be coming back. Or you will be able to return, you will utilize it faster. Sometimes it's a necessity that you need it faster. Maybe there's a restriction, there is an instruction, So it's not only cost, yes, I mentioned cost, one of the parameters is cost. If you don't have another parameter which will be giving you permission to pay more. So in short, again, our mindset should change, and our evaluation matrix should also change. And normally we don't change because sometimes we pay for acceleration. Alright? Why you pay for acceleration? Because you need it earlier. Right? So there is sometimes you pay earlier. Now another issue which you mentioned, which is very important, service authority. Just imagine during those times when PT slabs were introduced. What is the purpose of PT slabs? To reduce reinforcement, right? In the early stage. Were we reducing reinforcement? No. Because when a design checks the design, it doesn't check the design based on PT. It checks the design on the norm. So why we are using PT slabs? So also the mindset, as I said, not only to the contractor, the developers, also the service authority mindset has to change. Like we start on PT. Until today, some of the PT slab, you don't know why we are using PT slab, because the reinforcement is high. So again, I'm calling back to the mindset
conclusion of our event today. So at the end, always there is a word of thank you which is due. I would like to say thank you for everyone contributed for the success of this event. I would like to say thank you for our co-host, the Society of Engineers. I would like to say thank you for our co-sponsors, the Emirates Environmental Group, the CIOB, the American Concrete Institute. And the most important thank you is to you for being part of our event today, to give us your valuable time to spend with us, to reshape the future, and to be part of this transformation journey. So thank you very much, and see you next year.